So I understand that everybody has different personalities. So most of the time, people think it's weird that even like when I first went away to college, I went to the movies by myself. I did everything by myself. I didn't see why that was a problem. Everybody thought it was weird, but I was fine with it. Um, so saying that to say, if you like to do something, and I mean, for those that don't know, I'm 48 years old and I've been married before. I'm a widow. And there's a few things that I've realized about my walk in my life. One of the things is that you can't wait to do the things you want to do till you meet somebody to do them with, because you might be waiting. And sometimes the person that you're looking for is where you're supposed to be doing those things you want to do. Like you're going to meet them on your path, not, on at the rest stop, but on the path. So if you are doing whatever it is that you want to do, whatever God is telling you to do, then if it's intended, that is where you're going to meet them, not off the path, not off of where you're supposed to be. Because and Jay hasn't mentioned this, but maybe he'll talk about it a little bit. When we're not in our best selves, we're meeting a person that is not best suited for us because we're under stress. We're, not in a positive place in our mental state. And so we'll meet somebody that's great for the negative part of our personality, and great as in not good because it's negative. But the person that we need to be, that person that we're meant to be, we're the happiest part of ourselves. That's the person that we need to be to attract that person that makes us, or I shouldn't say make, but helps us to be our best selves. And so if you like bowling, go bowling. If you like hiking, as Rudy is enjoying hiking, or if you want to try kayaking, if you want to do something, then go do that, or join a group that does that, and meet people, and at least have the exposure of, okay, I wanted to do this and I did it. And just the fact that you did it is going to bring something in you that's going to be positive for your self-esteem, for your sense of self-worth and fulfillment. And that, I mean, positivity, self-confidence, happiness attracts people. Not necessarily always the right people, right, Awilda, but it attracts people
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
happy and positive.
May I
And
say
then,
something?
go ahead.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Just,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm 60, and the main trouble I have is I'm a survivor of traumatic brain injury that occurred 42 years ago, and how God, Father God, and Jesus Christ helped me through stuff, and I'm working with them trying to save other survivors from having so much conflict as I have. And so the injury don't occur because it occurs every 9 seconds. Don't want somebody to die from it.
Well, Richard, I would like to, Richard, my name is Jacqueline, and I would like to first acknowledge your pain of loneliness that you're feeling, especially over the holidays. And I want to thank you for sharing your heart like that. And I think a lot of us are feeling that way. And I also want to acknowledge that, we can keep trying to do all the right things, staying positive, doing what we like to do in hopes of meeting this person. But we also have to acknowledge, like you were saying, our society has changed a lot. It's making it very difficult to stay connected to families, not just with the pandemic, but just, people's morals and values, and people wanting to be more private now that we have social media and technology that's taking the place of face-to-face interaction. So I acknowledge your frustration and your pain. And you could be doing all the right things, still be feeling this way. But I just want to encourage you that you're not the only one that's going through that, that's feeling the change in society. And that's why we're all here. And it's good to see your face today, Richard.
Yep. And thank you. And then connected with the virus going around, that's what's sort of kept families from getting together on holidays now too.
Oh, I know. I won't be able to be with my grandchildren. And I tried to book a flight to Hawaii so I could be with my son. And that turned out to be a huge mess because they don't have any coronavirus labs near me that Hawaii accepts. I'd have to drive all the way down to San Diego, which is an 8-hour drive. So basically, I'm going to be home alone as well, while FaceTiming them because the coronavirus, it was too difficult for me to get to Hawaii in time for my flight, and with the COVID test results. So I can't be with that son. And the other son, they're hyper vigilant because they have 2 little children. They don't want anybody around them because of the virus. So I know it's gonna suck this year a little bit.
Yeah, let me say something real quick. If you all, I mean, I'm just gonna be real. If everybody feels like they might be, because like I said, I don't know who has kids that are in the house, not in the house, and where people are. But if you all need to / want to meet up on Christmas and or Christmas Eve, let me know. And I will set up a Zoom call and we can just figure out which one is best. Because like I said, we don't have to be by ourselves. You know, we can talk. You know, even if it's just everybody go get their eggnog and we tell holiday stories and laugh and giggle online. That's the whole point of community and the whole point of us coming together. It's not just about, you know, trying to find everybody a spouse. Part of it is for us to fight loneliness together and for us to recognize that God has a purpose in everything.
Yeah,
amen. So, you know, everybody just needs to.
That's beautiful. I would love that.
Yeah, okay, me
so
too.
Just put it out in the messages, you know, on the actual meetup. You know, if you are interested, just let me know. And let me know which day will work better for you, like early in the morning on Christmas or Christmas Eve. Because I know part of the day on Christmas I will be spending with my sister. She's opening her house to me. Because she really does.
His sister is hyper vigilant too.
But that'll be cool. And also to talk to Tashawn, who's stealing my thunder, and I'm joking on her. You know, everybody knows that's my bestie down there. But we can also talk about the law of attraction, which I think what people are talking about, being your best self so you attract the best self. We've talked about that before, so we can also talk about that next year. You know, if people are interested in that and going over that again.
And you don't see in the communities nowadays like it used to be, you don't see neighbors being neighborly. And you don't see the houses anymore where people used to sit in their porches and neighbors stop by and say hi to them or talk, be social. But you can't find that no more.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. But we want to make sure that we contact everybody, get everybody a chance to talk, Mr. Richard. So come on, Jammers, Kendra. I know y'all got something to say.
I do.
Come on.
Oh. This is my problem with lonely. I ain't gonna say much of a problem, but me being lonely, what I have discovered is I'm loving my peace. However, I don't want to get comfortable to the point to where that, okay, I'm loving my peace, but I'm good being lonely. You know, I don't want to have that type of attitude. And I'm finding myself like, Lord, I want a husband. To all the new ones, I've been married before. And since I've been divorced, I'm just loving my peace. I'm loving my loneliness. I'm so serious. It's just, it's a good feeling because I've discovered a lot of things about myself. Even though I have to go through my healing, but I'm loving it. Now I discovered that I'm liking mountains and lakes. So I'm in a process of relocating to the North Georgia. You know, I'm in Lithonia city.
Lithonia is really close to downtown. Well, it's not close to downtown Atlanta, but it's in Atlanta Metro for everybody that is not in Atlanta.
Yeah, so of course you're around everything, you know, the stores, fire trucks, everything, ambulance, traffic. So I've discovered, now that I'm loving my peace, I want to move to a peaceful place. So I'm loving nature, okay? So now I'm considering going up to the North Georgia area. I want to see some mountains. If I can get a home on the lake, I'm fine with that. It just my peace. But like I said, I don't want to fall into a place to where I enjoy that so much to where okay, now I have this wall up. I don't want nobody to come in to disturb my peace. I don't have time to be arguing with you. I don't have time you to be questioning me, I'm just saying.
Tara, are you a 9?
Yes, this 4-9.
Oh, okay.
I knew she had. I'm a 9 too, and I'm okay. But I would like to be married one day. But I'm always thinking, but this is nice too, because I know once I do become married, it's not gonna be. I have to consider that person, and right now I don't have to do that.
But see, that's what I was trying to tell y'all. Y'all 9 people.
Yeah, you did say be careful. Hey, you did.
Hey,
Well,
I'm
not a 9, but I understand what she's saying, and I think I'm extremely selfish to allow someone to come into my life and disrupt like my peace.
Mhm.
You know?
If you guys want to be reminded real quick about what the reality of marriage is, there's a show on Prime Amazon called Married at First Sight.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
And you're gonna be reminded of like, well, do I really want that?
I'm gonna watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched it.
Oh my gosh, I'm on season 5. It's
Yes, Jacqueline, yes.
it's putting the brakes. It's
Yeah.
putting the brakes
seen
on
all
my
of
desire. I'm like, do I really want to be married? Yeah, watch it as a reminder of how much work it is.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, marriage is a lot of work, but if you find someone who is mature, low stress, and then you figure out the personality type that you want. I got to stay positive. And I think you can find that person. I truly do, but they have to be mature, and they have to be low stress. And then for all the new people who are just taking the Enneagram test, once you understand about your Enneagram set, what you like, then there's the lessons to learn about the other Enneagrams so you can figure out what you want.
Okay.
We talk about that sometimes too, but we're not going to get too deep into that right now.
I think like what Jacqueline was saying, I think it's not a negative. It's putting it in perspective, because oftentimes we feel like we should be rushed, or like Wilda said you feel the pressure, but it's like the Bible says, do not be anxious for anything. Do not be anxious for it. You can appreciate that if you meet that person, but this is a journey, and we should be happy right here. And if ever you feel that thing creeping up, especially during this time of the year, like I want to feel like I'm with someone. It's like, look at Married at First Sight. It's like, nah, I'm all right. I think I'll wait.
I'm good.
Yeah. Thank you, Tara, for putting that out there. Because I understand what you're saying. I have never been married. I lived with somebody for a month because he forgot to tell me about his wife.
Wow.
Yes, he did. And
I hope he paid rent that month.
I'm a 5'8" so the investigator is in one of those.
That also happened to me. So if you call on me, I can share that story.
Okay. So I'm okay with the peace. And in this last 5 years, I've been working on me, getting me to where I want to be. I graduated in December. And then in January, I said, okay, you got all of your stuff out of the way. Now it's time to find somebody to be with. And then, of course, we get hit with the pandemic. And it's like, timing is just wonderful. Thank you, Lord. So I'm good with being by myself. And I'm also an ambivert. I'm more into the ISTJ stuff than I am this Enneagram stuff. So I got to read up on this Enneagram.
Yeah, you're going to learn it.
But I'm an ambivert because what I do for a living, I had to come out of my introvert habits and do my job. But I know when people have exhausted me and I have to go into my space. I have to be alone. So when I used to watch HGTV a lot, and I got the man cave, and my female friends always thought I was crazy because I'm like, I'm good with a man cave. I'm going to help him build it.
Well, he can get away from me.
When I need that time alone, if he doesn't use it, I will use it. So I feel you, Tara. I get it. It's just getting a man to understand. Sometimes we do need to be alone too. and communicating that without hurting people's feelings and helping them know that's just how you are.
Right.
You just need to
Right.
get you what they call it, a she shed. Is that what it's
Yeah.
called? They had a commercial of a she shed.
I like the tools though, so it's probably gonna be a
Get you a she shed. But I think Wendy, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I was just gonna kind of share that these comments are great. I'm getting a lot out of this group, and I know you can't hear me. I'm sorry, I'm at work. I actually work 7 days a week, and I think I hide my loneliness in my work a lot, and I become exhausted. But yeah, I was in a situation. I had answered an ad for a roommate situation, and he ended up taking care of my needs. And it was like, well, let's get married. And I was just so miserable. And I was there for 5 years. And I think it was like just like the last year that I decided to stay there. I never checked his phone. We never did that to each other. It was like the perfect situation for me. I had my room. I stayed in my room. I didn't have to be bothered with him unless I came and asked him and said, I need something. And it was just a really dysfunctional place to be because I was actually very miserable. And he was from Jamaica. So you can kind of just tell that he was in his ways and I didn't like his ways and I didn't really want to marry him. But he was kind of like meeting my needs at that point. But I was miserable and I knew that what I was doing, because I love the Lord. And I knew that what I was doing wasn't necessarily pleasing God, and I wasn't happy. And I found his phone one day, and I never went through his phone. We always respected each other's privacy. And it said, oh, thank you for the baby shoes, and I can't wait to see you and we get married. I was like, are you serious? I was like, so you have a whole other family in Jamaica that I don't know about, and I had to go ahead and find out on your phone. But that was okay for me because I didn't really love the guy anyway. I wasn't in love with him. But I was like, okay, well, he's the perfect guy that, I would want to be with. He takes care of my needs because I'm like that. I'm not going to pursue a guy. I have to have the guy pursue me. And I guess you can say I'm old fashioned in that way. I'm not going to take care of a man financially. And I think those are kind of things in my personality that I'm alone now, by the way. So I haven't been, in a relationship for about a year now. So I've been completely on my own, no relationship, celibate. And God knows that I want to get married. I think I've always wanted to be a pastor's wife. Like that was like my ideal dream, a homemaker. And those just never came to pass. And I guess I just kind of gave up on it. And I couldn't really understand why I'm being so faithful and serving in the church. And, I'm waiting on God. And it just never happened through my obedience. So I stepped out, and ventured out and was stuck in a bad place for 5 years. So now I'm back to my lonely place again. But this time, instead of, waiting on God, I'm learning how to find out what's wrong with me. Like, are there certain situations that I'm not ready to have a companion yet? Because I love my solitude. I'm like that too. Like, I love being in separate rooms and we only came together when we wanted to. That was ideal for me. I like that. And sometimes I'm like, well, how can these families just, be all giddy? And I can't, like, I'm really quiet. I can't really, I don't know. It's just weird. And so I'm trying to find out, like the enneagrams, right? Finding out who I am. Like, what are my personalities and who am I compatible with? Because this 5-year relationship, there was no compatibility there. It was just us meeting, him meeting my needs basically. And, I'm meeting his needs basically, right? But it wasn't like a marriage thing. It wasn't like, I didn't even like to be around him. Maybe I'm getting too deep and getting too personal. But I'm glad that I found this because this is going to help me like learn my personality traits. You know, I need a man who doesn't necessarily, I'm 50, I'm 49, I'll be 49 this month. So I'm also in that age range to where either it's going to be a person who doesn't necessarily want children or who already has grown children. And it has to be, you know, I don't know, like I'm learning how to date, to learn compatibility. I'm okay with my being alone, but sometimes it does get lonely. Like I want to wake up with a partner next to me sometimes. Like sometimes I get tired of waking up by myself, but then, you know, it's just finding that compatibility part and, you know, recognizing that, you know, because sometimes they say the blessing is right in front of you and we don't even know it because I'm looking for something else and maybe the blessing's right there because, you know, I'm attracted to, like, I would say the bad guy, and not necessarily, you know, recognizing the person. I don't have a problem attracting people. I don't think none of us do really. It's just allowing myself to be with the right one per se. So, because if I get the wrong person, it's easier to walk away from that person. It's easier not to get hurt by that person. It's easier to say, okay, well, I already know this is only going to be a couple months and there's going to be no commitment, no compatibility. And I'm good with that because that's just how I've lived my life, my whole life. But I don't want to live that way anymore. I'm old. I want somebody to grow old with. I want a partner. And so that's just where I'm at. Thanks for listening, guys. So if I continue to show up at these meetings, maybe I can learn something, hopefully. Thank you.
Well, we thank you for coming out, and we talk about half of what you just mentioned. Everything from finding your person to figuring out who your person is, to trying to find good guys, to giving up on bad guys, you know, those types of things. Because, you know, for all the ladies present, good guys and bad guys, they act different. You know, we've kind of talked about that before. You know, we've even talked about how you can know if a guy's truly interested in you, or for the guys, how you know if a woman's truly interested. So we actually do go over these things. I mean, like I said, we've been recording videos now for about, I think about 2.5 months. So we do have some up on YouTube. And then before that, there's just a lot of videos where I go through individual things, like I go through the Enneagram, so people can understand their Enneagram a little bit better and to have, you know, a good overview of those things. Because like I said before, you know, our goal is to, you know, fix a lot of these problems if we can. And while we're doing that, you know, to have community so that, oh yeah, Jamis, yeah, I hadn't fully uploaded it yet. It's halfway in the thing. It's like literally, I just need to go press publish. So what I'll do is I'll publish that once this is over.
Get them, Jamis.
What?
I said, get them, Jamis.
Yeah, Jam is getting on me today. I mean, that's good. I like that. I like that. Okay, so Miss Tanya hasn't said anything. You gonna say anything, or just gonna lie there and watch us the whole time?
Hi, everyone. No, it's just good to be an observer. I took the Enneagram today, and I am I think a 7, 8 and a 2, or 7, 9 and a 2.
Okay.
So understanding loneliness, like I'm in a good place of after being in a relationship. Um, I have children, ages 15, 13, and 1. And so right now in this season, they are residing with their father. And like we're 6 hours apart, so I don't see the kids very often. And so I'm in a season and it's a season, and I'm enjoying this time, taking this time. It's challenging because I've given so much of myself and focused on everyone else's needs, to the point where I kind of forgot to nurture myself. and find out what I truly enjoy. So this time of loneliness is helping me to, be still and quiet before the Lord and find out, again, rediscover who I am. And I'm in no rush to be to allow someone as like Tara mentioned, I don't want my peace to be disturbed. So lying right here, don't disturb my peace. I want to I want to be able to go when I want to go. But like what's interesting, I recently joined the meetup and I put in my interest. So I'm an ambivert as well. I'm an introvert, but I know how to tap into my social giftings and be in the company of others. So I just recently joined the meetup group and I've gone like to different outings, like women's group, and it has just been so much fun to the point where I'm like, oh Lord, I need to slow down because I don't need to be going. But it's fun because they have like different activities. Like I go walking at 4:45 in the morning with women, and who wants to do that by themselves? I don't want to go walking by myself at 4 o'clock in the morning. So it was great to find a group of women that are out walking at 4 in the morning. And then I just went to a group last night, and it was like a ugly Christmas sweater like party. Yeah, I know it's COVID, but we were all socially distanced and it made it fun, like just being with others. And I'm in healthcare, so I have to watch it as well, being in crowds and stuff. So, but we were all safe. So I'm thankful that we take precautions. So again, I participate in Zoom. I've joined a women's writing group online, and they asked me to be, to participate in an anthology that they're going to be writing in 2021. They asked me to contribute towards that. So this time of loneliness has been very like energizing for me. And I'm in necessarily no rush to be like with someone because I feel like taking care of men, it's like a lot of work and I don't really want to do that. I'd rather invest that energy on myself. And I was on the line last week regarding the 90 days. So I'm content being what's the word when you're what is the word when you don't have celibate? Sorry, celibate. So
I don't remember that word either, Tanya.
Most people want to forget that word.
I can't forget the word.
So I'm enjoying, I appreciate, I thank God because sometimes I'm in groups and I hear women, no offense, I'm not judging, but some women, they feel like they cannot live without, intercourse. And I'm thankful that I don't.
That pull is not on you.
Right. So